Ladies, are you ready?
No.
Nervous.
I am so nervous. I am not ready.
TV?
Never been on it before.
Okay.
Kind of nervous.
No. And Jeopardy is one of my favorite shows. I love Jeopardy.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Oh,
I watch
wow.
it every afternoon.
Okay.
Every afternoon. That's one of the things I used to wind down when I
Okay.
come home from work.
Okay.
But now it's our turn.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to be covering
We're gonna be-
structure family theory. Oh
Yes.
my God. And social work.
And social workers are never really aired on TV for game shows, so this is a first.
Yes,
Right.
and it's about time.
Yes.
It's time.
Yes.
We
Our
need
spotlight.
recognition. I know.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm a little anxious because I know that there's so much information that we probably should really be solid on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you all were willing to come and review with me and help us make sure that we're a good, strong team.
Yes.
Yes, we can do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Kira, would you start us off with this review?
I will. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about structure family theory. Structure family theory is a popular and useful perspective for organizing interventions with families.
Okay.
Structure family theory was developed by Salvador Munchkin in the 1960s, and he
1960s.
continued to evolve through his ongoing work and that of others.
Okay.
A focus of the theory of the family structure theories is a concept that refers to the individual and outspoken rules that often organize how family members interact.
Okay.
Okay.
He was born in Argentina in the 1920s and became a pediatric physician.
Okay.
Always interested in travel and the public service, he later came to the United States to study child psychiatry.
Okay.
He decided that family interventions was the most useful way to help these adolescents, and thus became the first of the major family theories to work with multiple problem families.
Okay. All right.
Okay, he outlined in the structure family theory some related programs that included the Economy Opportunity Act, Job Courts, VISTA, Upward Bound, Neighborhood Youth Courts, and Head Start.
Woo!
He did a lot.
Did you say job corps?
I did say Job Court.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
I
okay.
was a product of Neighborhood Youth Court.
Yes, I remember you telling me your brother.
Yes, my brother ran it in New York.
Yes.
And look at where I am today.
So you know it's
Wow.
effective.
Yes, I do. Yes, it works. It works. Okay.
Okay, so the social institution is defined as a established rule-bound behavior patterns of people guided by shared values.
Okay.
The purpose of the family institution are to regulate production, socialize and educate children,
Okay, wait. Regulate production.
socialize and educate children, provide economy and psychological support to members,
Okay.
transmit values,
Okay.
and care for sick and elderly people.
I bet that's going to be a question.
I bet it will be
Okay,
too.
so wait, so say that again.
Okay.
So the purpose of the family was, how'd you say that?
The purpose of the family institution are to regulate production,
Regulate production.
socialize and educate children,
Socialize, educate children.
provide economy and psychological support to members,
Okay.
transmit values,
Transmit value.
and care for sick and elderly people.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
that's
it's
all.
children and elderly.
Right.
Okay.
So that is basically everything that a family should do. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to go over some definitions because I know that they're going to be on Jeopardy.
Okay.
I just feel it in my heart.
I
Okay.
could use that refresher too.
Okay.
This is good.
So first we're going to go about the executive authority.
Okay.
And the executive authority really assets that is in every family household.
Okay.
So it usually generate adult member or somebody who exercise primary authority. So those are the people who, like the mother and the father,
Okay.
to make sure the children are doing right in,
Okay.
in the
Okay.
home.
Okay.
Okay, so during this assessment, the social worker should determine who has the power, whether the power shifts, because the power can shift from the mother or the father to have to make the roles, and make the decisions for the family.
Okay.
Okay, subsystems include parent, adult members, extended family members, siblings, and some adult aliases. Subsystems are normal and usually functional.
Subsystems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Process it.
Remember some boundaries, some internal and external boundaries.
Internal. External boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Internal boundaries are the barriers that regulate the amount of contact that members or subsystems are expected to have with each other.
Okay.
In some families, for instance, each member is entitled to the privacy of his or her own room,
Okay.
while other members is that desire that they share, rooms. So
Okay.
like probably the younger siblings share
Okay.
rooms, while the older the old siblings does not. Okay, so external boundaries refers to the separation of a family unit from outside systems, such as other families and community groups. Most families believe
Hold on
that.
a minute. So the external boundaries, what that means is that they're not interacting with those outside that
Right,
outside the
like
family structure.
external boundaries may be like, say for instance, you have something in your, how your family is knit and tight, and you don't want everybody to know about your privacy
Okay.
that goes on in your
Okay.
home.
Okay.
So that's why they keep their, their family, they keep their, I guess, situations private.
Okay.
While internal, they relays it to,
They
other.
interact with each
Mhm.
other in
Right.
that subsystem.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
That
I
makes
got
sense.
So did y'all get internal, external? Y'all got that?
Internal,
Wrote it
external.
down.
Okay. Rules are the behavioral rules. That's what I'm going to go over right now. Rules are behaviors behaviors and responsibility to which each family member are expected to adhere to.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to go over roles. Roles refers to his or her functions within a system.
Okay.
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
I got that.
Triangles. Triangles are a type of aliases in which two family members turn their attention to a third family member for relief or support when in conflict with each other. Negative triangles are often developed outside in the party's awareness. Triangles are often a natural process of seeking relief from tensions, but they may cause structural problems if they become destructive to other members in the family systems.
Okay.
Okay. Flexibility, we're going to go over like predictable and unpredictable changes in flexibility.
Okay.
Okay, predictable changes may include the movement of family members in a new life changes, on new life stages.
Okay.
That could be childhood, adolescence, adulthood, or older adulthood. Unpredictable changes may include a member to abrupt loss, physical injuries, incarceration, pregnancy, or a changed relationship with a specific significant other. Okay, so flexibility refers to the ability of the family system to make adjustment that preserve its positive functions.
So does that, you said flexibility means that if there are any changes, the family is able to bounce back
Mm-hmm.
and adjust to the change.
Right.
And not fall apart because of that change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got it?
Is that how you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Go ahead. I got that. Okay. I'm with you. Okay.
Communication is the ability of people in a relationship to engage in clear and direct communications. Okay, so cultural considerations are the diverse family cultures may feature difference in regarding communication styles, family inherited, and power structure. An example of how structured family theory could be taken into account is the LGBT community, and that is represented in many families as partners, parents of children. The term LGBT families describe families in which one. Let me start over because I don't want y'all to get mixed up.
Okay.
The term LGBT families describe families in which one or both of the adult families of the family identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I think that's all that I have in this little section right here.
Okay. All right. So he was in the 1960s. He was born in Argentina. He did psychiatry and something else. But you got that.
I got it.
Okay.
Pediatrician.
All right.
Yeah,
Pediatrician.
pediatrician.
Okay. All right. And there was executive something.
Executive
Executive
authority.
Yeah.
Okay. And there were subsystems within the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then we had boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yes, the
External
internal.
and internal.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. All right.
Got it?
You good,
Yeah.
girl? You good? You good?
Okay.
Okay.
Because I was nervous about those definitions, but you pinpointed
all right.
perfectly.
Alicia?
She did a good job. Just to kind of go back to what you were saying, she brought up communication,
Okay.
and that's really when I was going over some of this, some of these sections. That's pretty much a very vital part of any practice theory, but specifically the family structure theory.
Okay. Okay.
But part of the communication aspect is, in order for a practitioner to be successful in this assessment, they have to be able to communicate effectively with the members of the family, and
Okay.
also to get the members to be able to communicate. Because
Okay.
you all know, in life with anything, we can't be successful if we can't communicate. With the
Right,
professors,
right.
each other, even us meeting here, we communicated.
Okay.
And made that possible. So with the family structure theory, communication is a vital aspect, like I said, and how the practitioner plays into that is pretty much a practitioner comes in, and their role is to try to get the family to be able to communicate effectively.
Okay.
Because if they can't get that, then it won't be
Communication.
it won't be successful. So when the social worker comes in, they're going to have an assessment, and
Okay.
there's several factors that the social worker looks into as far as assessing the family, and certain aspects that they need to consider in order to have a successful assessment process. And one of the roles of the practitioner is to have the families become aware of their communication style and how to change it.
Okay.
So another thing I was looking at when I was looking over the notes is I know that Kiera brought up the LGBT, the lesbian, gays, bisexual, and transgender families. And one of the difficulties as far as practitioners in the past, they didn't really have a lot of research with these families. But now, with this becoming more common, we interact with, lesbian, gays, bisexuals, transgenders all the time.
Right.
Nowadays, it's more common, it's more of a norm. So they have more information for the social workers to be able to understand that background. So when they're dealing with the families, these type of families, the LGBT families, the social workers, they need to make sure, or the practitioner needs to make sure that they put their own biases and their own beliefs aside so that they can properly assess the family.
Right.
That's what
Right.
because sometimes we come in and we may not agree with certain lifestyles,
Right.
but
Right.
despite what your personal belief is, you have to put that aside and focus on helping this family.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
especially the LGBT, they have their own issues they have to deal with outside of the
Right.
the regular
I
family
understand.
issues. They have to deal with oppression. They have to deal with homophobia. You can write this down.
LGBT.
Yeah.
They deal with
Oppression.
oppression.
Yes, because okay, I'm going to read what they say right here. It said, these families may seek intervention to deal with LGBT issues, such
Okay.
as coming out, so that's one coming out,
Coming out.
problems relating to families of origin and the reactions to the
Okay.
LGBT
Okay.
family,
Okay. Okay.
cultural oppressions, I think I said that one,
Okay.
homophobia,
Okay.
heterosexism,
Okay.
and like I said, issues that other families have to deal with also, as far as like interracial issues
Okay.
and different situations like that. So the social worker just needs to make sure they're putting their biases aside,
Aside.
so that they can assess.
So, may I say something?
Yes.
So when the LGBT person decides to come out, they have not only to, basically what you're saying, they not only have to address coming out, but there could be other issues in the family structure that would cause concern.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it.
Okay.
That's part of it,
Because, okay,
Because
for
they have
example,
to-
you're saying they might be of a different race. So when they come out, they're not only dealing with them coming out and saying that they are.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
cultural aspect.
Right.
of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying more like the differences between the LGBT family and the regular, the other families, is that in addition to the issues that families face,
Right.
as far as imbalances or issues with rules and norms,
Right.
the LGBT families have that to deal with, but in addition to that, they have to deal with the the homophobia, different issues like that within the family. That's what I would say. Okay. Another factor that the practitioner, social work practitioner, needs to be aware of when doing assessments is our family goals. Family goals may include raising responsible children. Yes, developing loving bonds.
Okay.
Developing a shared sense of spirituality.
Okay. Okay.
So they need to make sure that they have the families articulate what their goals are, because families may have goals and may not be aware of it.
Okay.
So that's one of the factors that the practitioner would be involved in, making the families aware of their goals, or even helping them create goals if they don't have any.
Helping them create goals.
Yes.
Okay.
Another factor is a family life cycle stage. So the nature and quality of a family's functioning varies depending partly on its composition.
Okay.
So pretty much the children, the adolescents, the parents, all of them play a vital role. So that cycle affects the assessment process also.
Okay.
So social workers have been significant in demonstrating the utility of the life model perspective.
Okay.
They use the ecological perspective focus when they're dealing with families and going through the whole life cycle.
Okay.
Family myths. This refers to shared family beliefs that evolve in a family's effort to define itself, set boundaries with the outside community, and perhaps protect members from both internal and external conflict.
Okay.
So those are some things you can write down. Did you get that?
Family myths.
Yes. It refers to the family beliefs that evolve in a family's efforts to define itself as one, set boundaries with the outside community is the second one,
Okay.
and the third one is protect members from both internal and external conflict.
Okay.
Because as family, it's natural inclination to protect each other.
Okay.
Most
Right.
families, so
Right.
that's part
Right.
of the family myth.
Okay.
And external system influences, we all know that there are factors outside that affect the family. So this is pretty much what it was speaking about. It has been noted that the family is a primary social institution, but there are others with families routinely interact, including religious, educational, economic, and political institutions. So it's pretty much saying that those factors, families are gonna have some type of relationship or have some type of interaction with those. So we need to be aware of the influences it has on the families.
Okay.
The nature of problems and changes. We had a few definitions in here.
Okay.
I know that Kiera touched on some of them, so I'm just going to go over the main ones.
Okay.
But this is definitely a part of the assessment process, because the social worker needs to be aware of these specific things that create problems in the families.
Okay.
So power imbalances, that is pretty much, I'm going to just summarize it, it's pretty much saying the wrong person is a situation in which the wrong person has power.
Okay.
This could be...
Okay. Hold on a minute. So, is this... Oh, this is where the little boy was in the grocery store?
Yes, remember when I was
Right.
speaking about that?
And he had the tantrum.
Exactly.
Right.
So that would be like a power imbalance when the child, the parent is supposed to be having that power, but instead of the child is, and they're giving into that tantrum. So that creates a power imbalance.
Okay.
I'm glad you remember that.
Okay.
Okay. Another definition, or another one that I want you all to write down. Are the disengaged members. Those are the ones that don't interact with other family members
Okay.
or with the family system in general.
Okay.
So, an example of this would be, and let me see. This one is speaking about like a spouse that may feel disengaged from their spouse.
Okay.
They may start feeling lonely or depressed.
Okay.
So that's an example of a disengaged member. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not mixing this up with
You're
another
right.
one.
The adolescent shutting everybody else
Yes. Yeah, that's Sonia, you're on a roll.
Yeah, she is.
out. Telling you.
She been studying. She been
Yeah,
studying.
that's it. That's an
Okay.
example also. An
Okay.
adolescent pretty much not interacting with their family, either because they have to deal with, school issues, they feel like the family may not understand. So as a result, they may become a disengaged member. Okay, so a goal of the practitioner when they come and assess the family, they're trying to intervene and change the existing family structure so that it can become more functional. because the
Okay.
reason the families are coming to them is because they're having functioning issues. They're not able to function as a family unit. So that's when the social worker comes in, assesses. They go over all these things I mentioned. They assess the cultural considerations,
Okay.
of the family, which can include LGBT families. They consider the family goals, which
Okay.
I just, do you remember
Right.
what did I
right.
say for the family
You
goals?
said that they have to develop family goals, and then we may have to help them create them.
Bingo. That's how much to remember.
Create them.
What about family myths? Do you remember?
Family myths
Anyone?
are beliefs that the family may have based on their circumstances or their
Correct.
environment or their
Right. They
community.
set out of communication.
Okay.
What about disengaged members?
Disengaged members do
are
not interact with other family members.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
it's working.
All
Okay,
right.
let's see
Okay.
who remembers
All right.
this one. Enmeshed members.
Enmeshed members
Enmeshed.
are those that kind of like are mixed up together.
No, they rely too much on each other.
Oh.
It was actually a trick. It was actually a trick because I didn't go over it yet.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to know if anyone remembered it from their own
Okay.
study.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sonia. Tell them what it is.
Okay, rely too much on each other for support, assistance, and not developing their own life
Okay.
skills.
Okay.
Yay, go Sonia. High five. Don't leave me hanging. Okay, but yeah, it was
Okay.
it was a little trick. But
Okay.
yeah, that's exactly what enmeshed members are.
Okay.
And what happens with the negative aspect of it
Okay.
is that it can cause them to not go through the proper developmental stages because they're relying too much on that
Okay.
person.
Okay.
So it affects their growth sometimes. Let me see. I think
That
that's
would be like
pretty
my
much.
children. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay,
You gotta
Sonia.
tell
Oh,
Another thing I think I wrote down pretty much just touches a little bit. I know you were going to speak about assessment and intervention.
Yes.
But one thing I kind of notated was that the social worker, I think I said this, but the social worker plays a major role with this whole process, especially with this intervention, because the social worker needs to come in. They're going to take charge of the situation, but it's kind of hard because they also have to remember to be empathetic to the
Okay.
family.
Okay.
So you have to have a balance. It's like show them that you take charge, you know what you're doing, you're here to help them create structure, but you also have to be empathetic because each member has a different role that they play.
Okay.
And a good thing when the intervention starts is that the social worker has to look at each family member to see what role that family member actually plays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty much everything
That's
I
your
have
section.
for there.
Okay.
So, Sonia,
Okay,
what did
so-
you want to talk about?
Okay.
Here, did you want
Yeah.
to take some more notes?
So the structural family interventions focus on behavioral changes, and there is a formal instrument for assessment. Yes, it is called Family Assessment Device, and it goes by the acronym FAD.
Okay.
You said family assessment device?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or FAD for short.
Okay.
It has some subscales and structural family systems rating scale.
Okay.
So we also do time measures as to how long a child may stay in a room or with friend without parental interruption.
Okay.
So when we are evaluating or assessing the family for the way how they interact, we're looking at, for example, if the child stood on the chair and the mom said, "Come down." The child did not get down, and the mother said, "Okay, you're going to be in timeout." So the general rule I am told is that the child needs to be in timeout according to the age. So if it's 3 years old, have you ever heard that?
I never went by that, but yes.
I have heard of that. My family did
If a
that.
child
Yes.
is 3 years
Oh.
old, get 3 minutes of timeout.
That's not
I'm gonna
enough.
give you time
I
out. Okay. No. Okay.
I
Go ahead.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so the social work can use role play more flexible to help family anticipate future relations or situation.
Okay.
I guess that's primarily it.
Okay. All right. And then when I was reviewing some things, I came across something that I think we're going to miss.
Okay. What is it?
Some of the things that influenced Minchin when he was doing his theory,
Mhm.
he was influenced by something called structural functionalism.
Okay.
Structural functionalism. But there was a social worker
Whoop whoop.
named Virginia Satir, Satir, Virginia Satir. She was a major influence in his work,
Okay.
and I'll bet that's going to be one of those
Virginia
questions.
Satir.
Yes.
Okay.
So she was one of his influences. And then another thing that I saw was that one of the things that which we do, they did something called icebreakers. We do icebreakers
Yes.
Yes.
to kind of help the family, relax and not be quite so nervous about coming into intervention.
Mhm.
But my section was social justice and criticism. And one of the things that I discovered was that one of the criticisms of this theory is that it de-emphasizes the emotional component of counseling. Because this theory looks at what they call external architecture. The family needs to do this, 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 and this. And if they do all these things, then things should be better. Of course, now we know that doesn't always work in every family situation.
That's true.
But structural theory says that you look more at what people do and less at how people are feeling. And that has become one of the criticisms of this theory.
So I have a question. I don't want to. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But how do we know that? Like, what shows that this works? That this whole structured family theory actually works?
Well, I know that there have been some studies. Like there was a group in New York where they used this study, and there was a group of like 30 families that had people who were blind in them,
Okay.
and they used this to kind of help them restructure what was happening in their home, and they had a huge success rate with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, it was used. There was a study that 11 families had the intervention. 7 of the family members did well. That's about 63%.
Okay.
And after 6 to 12 months, there was continued improvement. So they didn't just fall by the wayside. They continued to improve after the intervention was over.
And then it also says that this has been used there were studies in the literature indicating that it's been useful with a variety of cultures: Hispanic, Chinese, Vietnamese, Jewish, West African, Native Americans, and it's been successful.
That's good to know, because once you hear different cultures and races, being tested, a theory being tested on, then that helps show that, that it works. Because sometimes these tests only focus on one race or one culture. So.
And one of the other things, since you said that, made me think about the spiritual component to it. Because one of the things that it said is that it does not really necessarily target the spiritual aspect, of a family, because it's so focused on the structure. But there are innuendos in being able to get the family together, because the family is community. And the community, as the community goes, so goes the world. And so when you help this family to become a better family, to be more structured, it impacts, it's like a ripple effect. It impacts
The whole community.
the whole community.
Okay.
Right. And so even though it's not spiritual in terms of church, but, the component of the world being a better place,
Yes.
that concept of spirituality, I think, is one of the things that this theory does.
Okay, and the good thing about it, it didn't just focus on one area, but areas of, like, a family had members who were autistic.
Right, right.
If there were
right.
incidents of chronic illness, depression, anorexia, substance abuse, learning disabilities, all of those areas were taken into consideration when they did the studies.
So now, I think we're almost done. I just want to make sure that we remember a couple of things that that the theory is being criticized for.
Okay.
One of them is that the theory de-emphasizes the family's emotional life. And I think that's important because even though the concept is that you have to fix it, it's more important to fix it, and then everything else will fall in line. That doesn't always work.
Okay.
Another criticism is that some practitioners have biases about what's appropriate family structure.
Okay.
And so you have to be careful, like with the LBGT, if that's their family and you as a therapist don't believe in that, you say, well, that's not a real family. You have to be careful about the biases that they have. Another one is that they say practitioners have to be careful not to begin their sessions with specific assumptions.
Okay.
Just because a family is poor does not mean that they don't have structure or that they don't have a good family life because they're poor. I think it's important to remember that this theory focuses on what's called external architecture. External architecture is the focus, and that a lot of what this deals with are social issues for people who have multiple problems: poverty, unemployment, discrimination. I think if we can remember all those things and everything that you all have said, I think we're ready.
We win.
All right, are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3,
go!
Go! Surprise!
Oh my goodness.
Really?
Wow.
Alex Trevette could not be here and they asked me to stand in. How about that?
Oh my God, that's
What a
good.
Yes, yes. So before we begin our Jeopardy show today, if you would introduce yourself to the world, ladies, and tell them who you are, where you're from, and what school you are affiliated with.
Okay.
And can we begin right here? This young lady right here.
Alicia Angrand. I'm from Queens, New York, and I am representing Southern Adventist University.
Okay, Alicia. And this young lady right here.
My name is Kiera Williams. I'm from West Point, Georgia,
Okay.
and I also go to school at Southern Adventist University.
Okay. And this young lady.
My name is Sonia Smith. I'm originally from Jamaica. I'm a MSW student at Southern Adventist University in Collegedale, Tennessee.
All right. Okay, Collegedale. And the accent says, where are you from originally?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. All right, Jamaica. Our categories for today are origins and social context, major concepts, the nature of problems and change, assessment and intervention, criticisms of the theory, social justice. Okay? And we were in the back and we were pulling straws. And Kiera, you get to go first.
Okay, let's go to major concepts for 300 then.
300. Okay. What does LGBT stand for? Kiera?
It stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Let's see if that's correct. What is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender? Very good. Okay. So, Kiera, you are team 2. There you go. And she's got 300 points. Okay, Kiera, choose again.
Let's go for major concepts 500.
500. Okay. This refers to the invisible and often unspoken rules that Kiera.
Family structure. Family theory structure. What is family theory structure? Oh my God!
That's correct. Let's see if that's correct. What is the focus of the family structure? Okay, we will take that. Okay. So, Kiera, choose one more.
Let's go to origins and social concept for 500.
500. Although the structural theory was developed in response to a perceived need among practitioners to help families experiencing multiple problems, including non-traditional inner-city families dealing with poverty, the theory is flexible and its interventions seem particularly suitable for families dealing with what issue? Kiera?
addictions, single parent, addiction, single parent. Oh.
Okay, Alicia?
What is addiction, single parents, and mental illnesses?
Sonia? You all were very close. The correct response is, what are families experiencing mental illness, acting out, drug addiction, crime, single parenthood, and violence? Okay, but that was a good try. Good try. Good try. Okay, Kiara?
Let's go for let's do origins and social content for 400.
Okay. Minchin's work was influenced by Talcott Parsons' structural functionalism systems perspective in the field of sociology, and also by which social worker whose
Virginia Satar. What is Virginia Satar? Who is Virginia Satar?
Alicia?
Who is Virginia Satar?
Yes.
I said it! Oh, man!
Okay. All right, so we're going to give that one to Alicia. All right, Alicia?
I will go with the nature of problems and change for 100.
According to the structural family theory, the relationship between people and their environmental. Alicia?
What is a family life cycle?
That is correct. What is the family life cycle? All right. So, Alicia, choose again.
I will go for the nature of problems and change for 400.
Okay. These members depend too much on each other for support. Alicia?
What is enmeshed members?
That is correct. Let's see that response. What are enmeshed members? Good job, Alicia. All right.
I will go for the nature of problems and change again, and I'll go for 500.
500. Okay, Alicia. Blank, blank. Do not.
What is disengaged members?
Okay. Let's see if that's correct. Who are disengaged members?
Oh.
That's okay. That's good. I would give it to
You would give it to her? But we didn't give it to Kiara because Kiara didn't say who is. So I gave it to Alicia.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Alicia?
Okay, I'll go for the nature and problems. The nature and problems and change for 300.
300. This terminology refers to situations in which the wrong members have the most power in the family. Kiara? Kiara?
I'll
Sonia?
Okay.
Sonia Buston.
What is imbalance?
What are power imbalances?
Okay, that's correct. What is power imbalance? All right. That goes to Alicia. All right, Alicia.
I will go for the criticisms of the theory and social justice for 500.
500. Okay. The principles of structural family theory allow social workers to focus on which social concerns? Alicia.
What is poverty, unemployment, and discrimination, and other social justices?
Yes. What is poverty, unemployment, discrimination, and other forms of social injustice? Very good. Okay. Alicia, pick again.
I will go for assessment and intervention for 300.
This helps family members develop new perspectives about themselves that is more constructive. Nobody? Okay. The correct response is what is relabeling
Oh.
or normalizing a problem. Okay. Sonia, pick for us, please.
What is 500 is?
For
Assessment,
Assessment
and
and intervention. Okay? Several instruments have been designed to assess and measure change in structural family therapy. This instrument includes 6 subscales, 4 of which problem solving, communication, roles, and behavior. Sonia?
What is a family assessment device?
That's correct. Family assessment device. All right, Sonia. Sonia's on the board. Sonia, go ahead.
Assessment and intervention for 400, please.
So 400, okay? Prior to problem exploration, it is often useful for the social worker to conduct a structured warm-up exercise to promote the family's. Alicia?
What are icebreakers?
That is correct. What is an icebreaker? All right. Alicia? Okay.
I'll go for the nature of problems and change for 200.
Okay. This is called the currency. Yes, Alicia.
What is communication?
The currency of family interaction is called communication. What is communication? Very good, Alicia. All right, Alicia.
I will go with origins and social context for 100.
Okay. This individual developed the structural therapy. Kiara.
Salvador, who is Salvador Munchkin?
That is correct. Who is Salvador Munchkin? All right. All right, Kiara.
Let's go back to origin and social content for 300, please.
Okay. Identify 6 related programs.
What is Job Corps? What is Vista? What is Opportunity Economy Act? What is Youth Corps? Head Start? And I think I got them all.
Well, let's look and see.
Let's see.
Up. Okay, there you go. Up. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. What is Economic Opportunity Act, Job Corps, Vista, Upward Bound, Neighborhood Youth Corps, and Head Start? Did we get all of those?
Left out.
She left out
Act.
Upward Bound. Okay. All right. Well, should we give her that one?
No.
No.
Look at you. Okay.
We can give it to her. That was really good. That was good. That was good, Kiara. We'll give you that one. Okay, Kiara.
Let's go for major concepts for 200, please.
Okay. Blank are responsible behaviors to which
Rules.
each family member.
What are rules?
What are rules? Okay. See? What are rules? Very good. Very good. Okay. Kiara.
I'm going to go back to origin and social content for 200, please.
200. Salvador Munchkin is from what country?
What is Argentina? He studied child psychiatry, and he's a pediatric. He is a pediatric physician.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see the response. What is Argentina? Child psychiatry and a pediatric physician. You go, girl. Okay. All
I'm
right.
back on the board.
All right. She's back on the board. All right. Kiara.
Let's go for assessment and intervention for 200, please.
Okay. This terminology refers to the social worker providing compliments. Sonia?
What is supporting system strengths?
That is correct. What is supporting system strength? Okay. All right, Sonia, next.
Assessment and intervention for 100, please.
According to studies conducted on structural family intervention, the effectiveness of this type of therapy is dependent on what? Okay, time up. The response is What is the practitioner's use of theoretically appropriate intervention strategies? You knew that. Okay. All right. All right. Sonia?
Major concepts for 100. Please.
Major concepts for 100. Blank refers to the separation of the family. Kiara?
Executive. What is executive authority? No, what is external?
Anybody? Alicia?
What is external boundaries?
Okay. What is external boundaries? Okay. Okay, and let's read that. External boundaries refers to the separation of the family unit from outside systems such as other families and community groups. Good job, Alicia. Okay, Alicia?
Let's go for origins and social context for 500.
Okay. Although the structural theory was developed in response to perceived need among practitioners to help families experiencing, yes, Kiara.
What is crime? What is drugs? What is addiction? What is single parenthood? I lost it.
Alicia?
What is physical or mental illnesses, crime, addiction, single parenthood, and drug abuse?
That's close. That's close. Let's see the answer. Let's see the answer. Physical or mental illness, acting out members, drug addiction, crime, single parenthood, and violence. Oh, that you all were so close.
If we could combine our answers.
Yes, you can combine your answers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, because we're running out of time, we're going to take one more from one of these categories. Sonia or no? Kiara?
We can go with criticism of the theory for
Okay.
200.
For 200. Structural. Yes, Kiara. Structural practitioners must be careful not to begin sessions with.
What is
Sonia?
What is personal biases?
No.
What
Alicia?
is bias assessment?
No.
what is
Answer again.
Yes. What is it?
personal assumptions? What is personal assumptions?
Close?
Dang it, I know it's assumptions.
What is personal biases?
No.
I know it's assumptions.
What is it? Go ahead. What is
Specific
assumptions?
Oh man.
We have to be careful as practitioners not to make assumptions. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to, for the sake of our audience, we want to be able to review those questions that did not get answered. And so if we're going to ask our capable technician, if she would click over for us on the criticisms for 100, and let's see if we can answer this. What is one criticism of the structural family theory? Anybody?
Oh, it only focuses on boundaries, external boundaries. Oh, no. It only focuses on the family structure and not all external boundaries.
Anybody else?
It's it started with D.
Give me the answer. It de-emphasizes the family's emotional life. Structural theory, even though it's good, it doesn't focus on. Okay, Taylor, let's look at criticism for 200. Structural practitioners must begin. We did that one.
Specific
Right.
assumptions.
Specific biases. We cannot begin with specific biases.
Assumptions.
Assumptions. See how? You help me. Okay, and then for 300 criticisms, as opposed to family emotional systems theory, this theory focuses on.
I know that. No, it's crap. It's I know it. External
architecture.
I wanted to
And
say
you think
it.
about structure, you think about architecture. Okay, All right, Taylor.
Tip of your tongue.
Yes.
Give us 400. Structural family is significant in light of social justice for what population of people? Go ahead.
Is it the LG?
Vulnerable and oppressed,
Okay.
which is really what social work is for
anyone.
anyone. Okay. All right, and then
I
the
think
nature of problems and change for 500.
That's the one I didn't say. Who
Okay, well, go ahead, Alicia, tell us what it is.
are disengaged members?
Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Do I get those points now?
Yes.
No, you can't get those points.
Okay. Now, our final Jeopardy question, and I'm going to give you a chance to think about this and write this down. What is the importance of the family institution? So we're going to take a break and come right back. All right, ladies, we are back for our final Jeopardy answer. What is the importance of the family institution? Sonia, you have 700. What was your answer?
To regulate reproduction, educate children, transport values, and care for the sick and elderly.
It's really close. Really? Transmit?
Should have been
Transmit. Okay, and how much did you get?
700.
Okay, so you now have 1,400. Let's give her a hand. Sonia, 1,400. Okay. Next, Kiara, you have 1,600. What was your answer?
I got regulate production, socialize and educate children. Provide economy. Let's do this. Regulate production, socialize and educate children, provide economy and psychological support to members, transmit values, and care for the sick and elderly people.
Very good. Okay, and how much did you bid?
I bid at 3,000. Okay, I'm just joking. I bid 1,600.
Okay, so you have 3,200. All right. All right. And for our leader, Miss Alicia, what is your answer?
I put what is to regulate reproduction, educate children, transmit values, and care for the sick and elderly.
Very good. And how much did you bid?
2,000.
All right, so our winner today, Alicia, has 44. Ladies, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come on Jeopardy. I know Alice is going to be so upset that he missed this opportunity, but you have shared with the world how important it is for social work values to be conveyed. And the structural family therapy is one that's very important. So I want to thank you so much for your time. Give
Thank
yourselves
you.
a hand.
Yay! Good job.
Good job.
Good job.